G'day everybody and welcome to another week of This Week in Crypto. I am your host Craig Cobb from tradercobb.com, and if you don't know what we do, we trade. We teach people to trade and we help other people to change their lives by using simple checklist-based trading strategies. But that is not what this is about. No, you can find much more when you subscribe, which you should do now, and turn on your notifications so you can see when I do scans and whatnot there, so you can pick up what's been going on. So what has been going on? Well. When I go through the news in this afternoon, which is Friday here for me in the wonderful Bondi Beach, Sydney, I look at what's been going on. And when I see things like this, Vitalik Buterin trolls Craig Wright over patent trolling. Who cares? I see that and I go, oh, can we please just grow up? Stop slinging shit at each other. Sure, Craig, Mr. Wright, whatever. Vitalik, whatever. Again, I don't care. I really don't care. It's crappy news. It makes us look immature, and I don't like it. There you go. You heard it first from me. Crypto dollar to combat hyperinflation in Venezuela. Well, let's talk about that for a grand total of 3 seconds. They did it. It didn't work out so well, right? Remember the oil-backed cryptocurrency during that hyperinflation period? Yeah. Who cares? Bitcoin pre-halving pump as Bitcoin moves towards 8,000. Well, we've been speaking about it for a while. I'm going to show you something at the very end of this that's going to make you think. So you have to stick around. Right, what else have we got in here? There is one thing that I did have a look at and I did have a read through and I thought, hey, that's not bad. Here it is. Celsius CEO and fellow interviewee on the Trader Cobb Crypto podcast, Alex Mashinsky. Extraordinarily smart man. That interview was really, really fun. The guy is just so intelligent. Absolute genius type human being, and doing things for the right reasons from what I could tell, and from the conversation I had, I really respect the dude. So what's he saying? He's basically saying, why didn't Bitcoin explode during COVID-19 pandemic? Don't forget, we still are during COVID-19 pandemic, so please stay home, social distance, and wash those gosh darn hands all the time to keep you and your family safe. Of course, what he's talking about here is people were saying, I think Bitcoin will go nuts. Now, I spoke very similarly on the podcast of that same similar narrative, saying that Bitcoin was holding when the rest of the markets were falling, as Alex suggests over here. 5 years ago, Mashinsky said Bitcoin's looked volatile against stocks, but now it looks more stable in the stock market. It only moves 2% a day, when the markets are moving 5 to 10%. Now, that was during a period of high volatility in equity markets across the globe, and I think we'll see a return to that. I don't think COVID's over. I don't need to think. It's not over. Will we see second waves? Probably in certain places. Will we see the knock-on effects of this pandemic? Absolutely. What we're seeing at the moment is just the beginning. Okay, it's just the beginning. In the 2007-8 global financial crisis, when I was trading through that, it was a lot more that came out of that a few months later. Any big businesses that have shoddy balance sheets or a lack of liquidity and capital, they're going to struggle. In Australia, we've seen Virgin Airlines go into administration. We've seen, I believe, Virgin Atlantic, also the international arm of Virgin, in the UK based, I believe it is, has also fallen onto hard times. All of the travel industry has. We will see further knock-on effects here. How is it going to change the landscape? I don't know. There are a few things that I think will occur, but it's not for me to talk about those right now. No, we're going to talk about this article. So what we're looking at here is a market where Bitcoin it's stabilizing. Okay, and we do see a little bit of a correlation towards the S&P 500 and Bitcoin, because we dropped hard on Bitcoin, 45% in one day, and since then we've come back and regained nearly all of that. Now, the stock market hasn't regained all of that. Okay, it's still got a long way to go on the weekly. It's pulled back into that cradle zone, and it could possibly see further downside as we continue through this pandemic. But one of the points that was made here by Alex is that obviously we saw oil being one of these big markets that it went negative. If you don't understand why it went negative, where do you store it? If you've got a fridge full of fish and cheese and milk and things that will go off if you leave them outside, and someone goes, hey, I got fish. No, I can't take any more fish. I don't want to ruin the fish. I'll pay you to take it because it's got to be stored somewhere. Similar, I've made that sound really simple. It kind of is. Have a look into that, but oil's the first one where the cracks have started to come. What does it actually mean for Bitcoin? And I think this is really important. This is the bit here from me. I mean, he's compared it to, if you look up here, sorry, where are we? If you look at what he compared it to, which is Netflix, okay, which was the best performing stock between 10 and 19. Okay, big moves there on Netflix. He's saying that Bitcoin is 2,000 times better than the world champion of the stock market. Geez, I wouldn't mind seeing a 2,000 times performance on what's it called, Netflix. Mind you, we probably already have. Be nice to see some further upside as well. So the question around this is, what will investors, like, why will people invest into Bitcoin? As things start to decorrelate away from Bitcoin, as long as that does happen, this is a theory I've been speaking to quite a lot, we may actually see money coming out of the stock markets into crypto. Why? Well, obviously quantitative easing and the printing of vast amounts of money and liquidity going into the market devalues a currency. So why in that case has the dollar index gone up? Why has the dollar gotten stronger? Because people liquidate into dollar. We saw it in 2008. We called it the last dollar dash, and it did. It raced up and it fell back down, and then it just did what the dollar does and kept on climbing ever so slightly, ever so slowly over the next decade. What about now? Well, as we see a decoupling, or if we see a decoupling from stocks to Bitcoin, that money should trickle into Bitcoin. And it doesn't need a lot because we're a small market capitalization compared to the trillions and trillions and trillions that are in other markets around the world. And that is what Alex is talking about. What he said is a bet on Bitcoin is a bet the deflationary pressures will win. When everyone gets nervous, they all go to cash. Hey, that includes selling Bitcoin. But it's still one of the best stores of value that exists out there. So thank you, Alex Paczynski. We should talk again. It's been a pleasure last time, and it will be a pleasure next time. Speak to you soon, mate. Smart man, ladies and gentlemen. Go and listen to what he has to say more of. Now, I come across the CoinDesk now, and I look at Bakkt CEO. Why am I looking at that? Because don't forget, Bakkt, according to all the market participants, back whenever it came out, I think last year or October or the year, I can't really remember, it was a very important opportunity for our market. I say opportunity because it was a very important opportunity. The CME has a stranglehold on the futures market right now in crypto, in Bitcoin in particular. But Bakkt was there to settle into actual, I don't think call it physical Bitcoin, but you know what I mean. It was to settle into Bitcoin. And that, of course, was going to be big for our market. Only if they brought the volume. Now, Bakkt is there for institutional grade investors and funds to participate within this market. Now, you've got to understand this. Where are are institutions investing into Bitcoin? Well, at the moment, it appears not, because their CEO is stepping down of Bakkt, and we are seeing sometimes no volume at all, as you can see here, including periods where some of its contracts have had no volume. Now, this doesn't surprise me in a period of the start of the year. I mean, after January, of course, when COVID really kicked in, I can understand why they're really just doubling down, and there'll be a lot of frantic movements going on within a lot of funds around the world to try and consolidate and see where they're going to put their money, because they can't just pull all out the cash. It's an illegal thing to do. The markets would have no liquidity, and the world's economies would just simply collapse. So they're not allowed to do that. So therefore, what are they doing? Well, they're not looking at Bitcoin for the time being. No. Now, we are seeing volumes increase and decrease. They're fluctuating. As we spoke of, I think last week or the week before on the CME contract, but they are derivatives. So that's more there for the speculation side, but also for those that were already in the market to manage their portfolios through hedging. So another thing there, why CME has taken on that and done very, very well. Now, the ICE, they are not a sort of company that will be beaten. They are a big company. They bought New York Stock Exchange. Okay, they the NYSE. As you can see in this article, where is it? Anyway, there we go. In 2013, the acquisition of the New York Stock Exchange Euronext platform, which is basically the New York floor. That's where the pit is. I've been fortunate enough to be invited to go and see that place, and it is pretty cool. But what's going on right now for Bakkt? Well, it appears not a great deal. What does that mean? Well, it means that it doesn't appear at this stage to have a great deal of interest from those institutions that haven't already come in. CME already in. the backed contract here with ICE not already in because it settles in physicals. Switch back to the last article that I just went through with Alex Machinsky talking about the devaluation of the US dollar, deflation, then pushing money into Bitcoin eventually. Well, we'll probably see BACS volumes increase, and we'll probably see the CME contracts increase with it. Are institutions flowing in right now? It appears not so much. Will they come? Well, the verdict is out, but there's certainly a lot of reason for them to do so. Guys, I want you to have a fantastic week and take care of yourself. Stay indoors, stay in isolation, and make sure you wash these puppy dogs really, really well. And get across to tradercobb.com and make sure you like this, you subscribe to this, and you switch on the notifications. And don't forget to get your daily dose of me, Craig Cobb, on the Trader Cobb Crypto Podcast, found on all good podcast players. You have a good weekend, you take care, and happy trading. Bye for now.
The Trader Cobb Crypto Show, talking business in blockchain.